What's up, guys? Welcome back to my series on using your FPS Dominator with your DualShock 4 on your PC, getting all those extra frame rates, way smoother gameplay, while still being able to use the controller and paddles that you love, and that are relatively cheap and work great. Cough, cough, scuff. The first step is that you need to be already, for this video, is that you need to already be able to use your Dominator with your DualShock on your PC using the SCP Toolkit, the driver installer. If you're not at this step yet, I have the video linked below that'll help get you there. It can be a little finicky, but just stick with it. All the troubleshooting tips are there. This video is actually about expanding on that. Thanks to one of my viewers, Trent J, who pointed out to me that if you use Steam, it can give you a lot more controller customization. Now, I was confused at first. Epic Games isn't a Steam game. I didn't think that was possible. Apparently, it's really easy. So what you want to do is you want to start by installing Steam. A lot of you may already have it. If you don't, it's very easy, really reputable. Just log in. It's like a big game library. And you're going to want to go to your library, your games, and you're going to want to add a game and add a non-Steam game. And then you just find the Epic Games launcher in your wherever you saved it on your computer, and add that to your Steam library. And with that, you can now launch Epic Games launcher and launch FORTNITE using Steam. And the benefit to that is that using Steam's big picture mode, which you use these two arrows up here, gonna give you that awesome cinematic. So this is Steam's big picture mode. And this is where you're going to be able to customize your controller using their controller configurations. Start by going to the settings in the top right. It's the large gear. For the rest of this, I'm going to shut off the camera just so you guys can see everything that I'm doing. It all happens to be right under my camera. So you're going to go to the controller settings right there, and click on controller settings. You're going to see this first set of options. You're only going to want to select Xbox configuration support. I know it's a DualShock controller, but the SCP Toolkit, it kind of tricks it into thinking it's an Xbox controller. Just trust me. The controller shutdown time, that's not important. The detected controller, if it's not showing any, unplug, replug back in, you know, the usual troubleshooting for the FPS Dominator and DualShock. Hopefully it should detect the controller. Here you can identify, calibrate, define the layout. I didn't have to really touch any of that to get it operating, but this is definitely stuff you can mess with in the future, especially the calibration. It kind of tries to optimize your dead zones. Once you've selected just Xbox configuration support and you have a detected controller, you're going to go back to the regular settings and go to base configurations. That's right under controller settings where we just were. And here you're going to go, the one that's going to concern you is desktop configuration. The other two are for situations that aren't while you're gaming, so I'm not really concerned with that. The desktop configuration is while you're gaming, while you're playing FORTNITE, launched through Steam. So you're going to go to your desktop configuration, and there's your controller, your Xbox controller. And here you're going to see all these options. Now mine are all blank. This is the disabled option, but you may have a bunch of keyboard options there, like left shift, right shift, space bar, all over this controller. So those are keyboard bindings in addition to your regular controller inputs. So you're going to want to get rid of all those and start fresh. So go to Browse Configurations at the bottom, and you will see the recommended controller configurations, and you want to click Disabled. It'll show you a preview, kind of what I just had, and you want to apply that configuration. That'll give you a disabled, clean controller layout that you can then go check. You can go back to Steam. You can launch FORTNITE, which is what I have right here, and make sure that your controller is working. I have the DualShock right here with the FPS Dominator, and it's currently actually not working. I'm gonna try clicking on FORTNITE, making sure everything's active. There you go. So my bumpers are working, and that's usually the telltale sign. I'll go to make sure that my paddles are working. You can see the X and circle being pressed on the controller on the screen, but I'm using my paddles in the back. So that's just confirming that it's working through Steam. And nothing weird is happening because I disabled all the keyboard bindings connected to the controller. So now for customization, you can go back to the Steam big picture mode. And the one that's probably going to concern y'all at first is the aiming joystick. That's what's most important in terms of sensitivity and getting everything to feel right and hit your shots. And that's this right stick right here. You're going to want to click on that input. And none seems to work fine. But if you do want to mess with it, the style of input that you want to use is directional pad. A lot of people will use the joystick mouse. They think that sounds right. That's not what you want. That's going to get rid of your aim assist. It's going to make everything a lot choppier. That's going to be like you're using a mouse from the 90s. That's not what you want. It's a directional pad. Here you can mess with the dead zone, the overlap region. I would recommend dead zone all the way down. I think the SCP Toolkit kind of adds a little bit of dead zone to the controller when playing on PC. And I think that this is a great way of countering it. Along with your calibration, you can really fine tune it. But this is going to require a lot of you kind of adjusting your settings to get it just right. There are a lot of things that you can add here, additional settings. We're going to get a lot more into this in future videos, and I'm going to be coming out with a lot of awesome techniques for you guys to improve your gameplay and get more out of playing with a controller on PC. So that's really all I have for you. Please look out for future key binding videos and future ways that we can become more competitive on controller against mouse and keyboard players using the Steam controller config. Please like and subscribe below. I'd really appreciate it, and that'll help get you notified when I come out with more key bindings and more ways to improve your gameplay. Thank you very much. Have a great one.